so here we are, last episode of Valkyria Chronicles, or as anyone who's been, reasonably receptive has noticed, I'm actually using the Japanese title, Senjou no Valkyria, but that's irrelevant. So, yeah, I'm going to start here just now. This is post-commentary, by the way. So I'm basically just watching what I've already done and talking. I actually did the post-com because, long story short, I couldn't be bothered to do, to try and actually do commentary and play the game at the same time, because I'm a lazy bastard. That's basically it. And this is strange, but slightly easier. So yeah, you're probably looking at the briefing about now. So, yeah. I'm thinking. So yeah, you're looking at the briefing now. Basically, we just have to beat that big fucking tank thing, and then everyone can celebrate, that sort of thing. Now what is it? Yep, still the thing. Yeah, Valkov is destroyed. Valkov obviously, if you've been paying attention, is a big giant fucking lance on top of the tank. Now, yes, just something I would like to say up front at this point. I actually, because I couldn't remember absolutely for shit what the hell I was supposed to be doing here, I referenced a guide to, remember where the hell you're supposed to put everyone and roughly what you're supposed to actually do to finish the mission. It's relatively a minor thing, or a big thing if you're, that sort of person. But yeah, so yeah, I'm generally following a guide for where to put everyone on this point here. Generally, crap. So yeah, there's a guide here. As for thingies, yeah, gameplay is going to be reasonable, but yeah, I have to remember. Now, there's going to be a couple of cuts in this, because for the same reason that, well, not the same reason, since it was the last episode, I just kind of wanted to get it done with, so there's a few save and reloads in all this. Now, the cuts themselves will be, well, you'll notice them, but they're not going to be obtusely, obvious. And I'm still just putting people here. So, yes, what's after this? That's probably a good, reasonable topic to go on to. After I finish this, which I have actually done a while ago, and I will apologise for the how late it is for actually getting this out. But yeah, decisions that I've gone with. One, I'm currently kind of organising a Demon Souls playthrough, which is something that I wanted to do for a while now. It's basically going to be like a pure Black World Tendency playthrough, which anyone who knows Demon Souls will know what I mean. And I want to do kind of co-op as well in it. And it's going to be New Game Plus, because, getting one-shotted is fun. So yeah, that's going to possibly happen eventually. I'm still organising that. I've got a couple of internet friends to do that with. As for everything else, I'm going to probably do a playthrough of a stealth game. You're probably looking at either a Metal Gear Solid game for that, or I'm considering the Chronicles of Riddick game, because I kind of like that fiction universe. But more on that, and when I eventually finish Dark Souls 2, which I'm not going to say that I'm bored with, but I'm starting to lose my enthusiasm over the game. Thank you, Mr. Whoever did that critique video, because it actually really started to, it brought up a few issues that I've not been able to really forget since. But yeah, once that's out of the way, I'm going to be doing a Dragon's Dogma playthrough as well.
Princess Cordelia.
And yeah,
What are you doing here,
Dragon's Dogma is a reasonably fun game. It's kind of like Dark Souls in a loosely thingy thing. It's, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, that should be fun. You should probably see me die. You'll probably end up seeing me die a lot because I'm going to be doing a quote-unquote solo playthrough with air quotations here, without basically any AI. Well, they call them pawns, but yeah, they're basically AI players that are incredibly stupid and actually probably not worth using that much, but yeah, that's irrelevant. So, we're on the gameplay now here. Let's see. I kind of used the guide for reference. I actually butchered the deployment here, so it's not exact. So yeah. But yeah, I'm sort of using it for a reference for what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm really I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of flicking between characters, but yeah. This mission in and of itself isn't actually that difficult. In fact, the last couple of missions are actually significantly easier than the few preceding them.
Sweet dreams.
So yeah, I'm currently just using my sniper here, because there's a couple of, shall we say, there's a couple of enemy units that can be problematic if you don't deal with them straight away. And they are the anti-tank and the sniper, which I believe I just killed back then, and I've just killed the anti-tank guy here.
Sweet dreams.
So yeah, and as I said, I think overall my squad's actually relatively overpowered for what's, I say overpowered, but
The hunt begins.
this is interesting. Ah yes, there's a couple of anti-tank blokes that we need to kill, but yeah. As I say, my squad's been overpowered since the beginning because this is actually a new Game Plus squad. But that's irrelevant. I mean, it's, let's say, this is more of a story-driven game, so actually it being challenging isn't something that I'm overly concerned about. By the way, I am going to probably put a video up soon about, there's just basically just a video purely upon the character bios and yeah, that sort of thing. And I'm trying to work out what the hell to do here, or more accurately, I'm probably actually reading. So yeah, I'm gonna try and keep talking because, you know, we've got like an hour, just like an hour and 20 odd minutes to fill here, which is the total length of the episode, which is actually quite good since the raw footage ended up being like 2 hours, because I did, shall we say, an excessive amount of loading and thingy, because regardless of what I said, yeah, the guide reference and say I butchered the loading or the actual deployment, so it's not perfect, but yeah, and that was a load just there for whatever reason, I'm not sure. The actual mission itself isn't that hard. In fact, I believe if you follow the guide to the letter, you can actually do this in 2 turns. Or at least you can guarantee victory in 2 turns. that's how. Yeah, these last couple of missions aren't difficult. They're yeah, I believe randomly actually as a small random point. The actual guides themselves that I followed are actually Chinese guides, which is curious actually, since, well, anyone who's, yeah, there's another cut there, anyone who's shall we say
Orders from the boss.
knowledgeable about, you know,
Not gonna work.
oh god, yeah, you're gonna hear that a lot by the way, yeah, but anyone who's shall we say knowledgeable on you know, any sort of politics or just some of the more in-depth gaming in general will know that consoles such as the 360 and the PS3 have actually been banned in China for, well, since forever basically. They've only just lifted that ban, which I believe there's a clause that that any consoles, you know, consoles that are going to be legal for the country will have to be manufactured in, I think it's some sort of trade zone area that in China. But yeah, console gaming in China, you know, completely banned. Why they've done that, I have a few ideas, but you know, you are talking about a country that's, should we say, excessively you know, also show us a totalitarian regime, and you know, Google it, you'll kind of get an idea. I mean, you can just, you know, Google Tiananmen Square and you'll get an idea of what the government's like.
Engaging the enemy.
So yeah, ignoring politics aside for now, yeah. So yeah, things I've just done, I've just I just got my sniper to retreat because, you know, we don't want her dead, and I've just switched out and used yeah, I've just used my assault trooper to deal with that small discrepancy from the guide, which basically says use one of your lancers and try and headshot the dude that's supposed to be just there. And I didn't feel like, you know, I didn't honestly feel like reloading 20 times to get that headshot. So yeah, one of the things I didn't do according to the guide. Now, I am still on target though. So yeah, enemy phase. This is relatively easy actually. I mean, they basically occasionally send a soldier out the front, as you can just see, and they then spam their machine guns. And he's going to try and hit me from there, which is rather silly. Oh, and they might send some of these guys from the bottom left hand corner of the map. You can just see them about there, and I'm kind of pointing at my screen about now. But yeah, just imagine that you can see me doing these guys, that's who I'm talking about. And yeah, they basically have to run right in front of a tank to try and do anything. And well, the AI on this game, basically, the second one of their soldiers start getting shot at, they will, you know, just instantly ignore anything that they was going to do, and they will try doing, you know, an aim action or something that breaks our ability to counter-attack.
Minor damage sustained.
And yeah, that's going to try and shoot my tank. And this is... yeah, that shot my other tank. I actually didn't realise this would happen when I was playing, but it's irrelevant and pointlessly thingy. This is, by the way, what I meant by they would span the machine guns. I mean, this is going to happen a couple of times now. And they're always going to aim for Alicia for some strange reason. I mean, probably because she's the one that they can aim at, but since she's behind sandbags and she has a, shall we say, relatively high evasion rate, they're not gonna, they really are not going to cause any issues. And that's the Valkov deciding it's going to destroy everything in front of it, which, since I'm not going to have anybody in front of it for, you know, ever, it's completely a non-issue.
I'm on my way.
Oh, and by the way, in case anyone's noticed, I'm slightly more vocal at the minute. Yeah, again, post-commentary, not having to, you know, remember what I'm doing here. I've also had a couple of pints, which generally makes people more talkable anyway. And in case anyone's wondering what it is, it's that cheap, nasty lager that's that they claims from Australia, but any degree of you know, you just look at the thing, it's shut in. Nice little Japanese reference there, but yeah, I've had a couple of pints of Foster's, which is apparently from Australia, but it's brewed in the EU, so make of that what you will. And yeah, I just did an emergency heal on her because, yeah, she was going to die if I tried to run the old way, so yeah. Mostly she's just for resupplying. Although, to be honest, if you'll notice in a minute, and a couple of more times, she should be a fucking sniper. Just there. 3 perfect headshots. I mean, seriously. Yeah, she should have a sniper rifle. You know, yeah. So yeah, that's slightly amusing, or at least I found it amusing. In the minute we're just, I'm clearing up around the upper floors with, clearing them of anyone that can actually attack my lancers, which, strangely, you can climb but you can't descend, or unclimb, but yeah. And this is basically the last guy to deal with, you know, 20 shots, only 3 after hit. It's a reasonably good odds for me. And these are the 2 targets I have to destroy, and then the Valkov itself. I think at this point I'm just kind of looking around, see what's there, but yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the things. Because, to be honest, the guide I was following, not very specific on certain things. I believe in a sec I'm actually going to climb up here and I'm going to start shooting random lances or rockets or whatever off to try and work out exactly what I'm supposed to be shooting around now. You can see I'm supposed to be shooting these heat sinks, but I can't damage them at the minute. I will be able to next turn. And I'm standing around. I'm probably trying to work out exactly what I'm doing next. Oh yeah, it's because I hit that light, the blue metal bit. The blue metal bit on the side. So I was wondering if maybe that blue metal bit shielded the actual thing itself, so I'm going to try and shoot like a middle part in a sec. And I'm going to, yeah, that's just the auto aim thing. Yeah, this game isn't exactly the most challenging thing in the world, but yeah, I'm going to try and shoot that block in, you know, between the thing, and it's not going to work. Because apparently you can't damage it yet. Is it going to stop me from trying? Apparently not. And she says that again. I'm not sure if you're going to see this. Yeah, that's how desperate I am to try and work out what I'm supposed to hit. But Yeah. I'm not sure if you're going to hear her say that as many times as I did, but I heard her say that a lot, thanks to me reloading a fair amount. And yeah, it's enemy phase time. They're going to have about as much success as they did last time. See what I mean? The second they get damaged, they just abandon whatever they was considering doing before. And he's going to try and use a grenade on my tank.
Damage minimal.
Which, yeah, damage minimal, and it's pointless. I mean, yeah, even if they spam 100 grenades on my tank, basically all they can do is they can break the treads, and which is what they're trying to do, but it just roots the tank where it is, it stops it from moving. And the tank is exactly where I want it to be, because it does that basically. It stops anything coming from that side from getting anywhere near my troops. That, on the other hand, is actually a reasonable threat, or at least to my tank it is. And now it's just going to spam machine gun fire on Alicia, because that's all the AI can do. So the AI on this game isn't very flexible. It will always follow the same set things based on what it's doing. And now we have a pretty light show, and yeah, whoops. And that's it. That's all it'll do, and that's all that thing will ever do. Now I am, if I remember rightly, and this bitch is actually going to do something brilliant. But yeah, the actual Valkov itself, I believe from what I know,
Way ahead of you.
when it shoots like that, it can actually injure any of your characters that are stood, shall we say, in front or below the actual thing itself. So it's sort of dangerous, and it's not. And here's me just trying to put this in a position where it's both a shield and it can't actually get destroyed in the process. Because that's actually what, strangely enough, that's actually what tanks were originally designed for. As, well, anyone who knows anything from World War I will know that basically tanks were invented as a solution to trench warfare, because, you know, basically trench warfare was nothing more than the Germans and, you know, England slash French. I think Italy might have been involved on our side as well. I can't actually remember. I vaguely remember it. The actual alliance itself was called the Triple Entente, which consisted of three countries, which was Britain, France, and someone else. I think it was Italy. I'm not sure. Oh, it was probably Russia, actually, now that I think about it, because I do vaguely remember that Russia actually had to drop out of the war early because they was going through their, you know, Russian Revolution that allowed Stalin into power, which wasn't necessarily a good thing, but that's irrelevant. But yeah, World War I was effectively both sides sitting in their, their holes in the ground and trying not to get shelled or gassed to death, and I'm finally going to be able to damage this thing. So yeah, that's how World War I went. You sat in a trench, they shelled each other for, hours, if not days on end, and occasionally the order would come to go over the top, which basically translated to your side sends several hundred men over the top of the trench to march across no man's land towards an enemy machine gun. And yeah, just watch Blackadder 3rd and wait till you get to the end. That will answer how that tactic ended up. But yeah, the eventual solution for them doing that was to use large metal vehicles and just drive them across, and they would act as a shield for anyone following behind, which is a tactic that stopped them actually continue for a fair amount of time since then. And yeah, I did mention anyone who wants to know a small history lesson, as I said, Russia actually quit. I say quit. They stopped participating in the First World War, and I think it was either 1917 or 1918. It's been a while since I'd studied this thing, but yeah, they dropped out due to the Russian Revolution, and then she says that again. I'm not sure on what the actual thing, and I'm trying to work out where to damage this thing at this point. The actual, the official title of the country at the time was, because I don't think there was an empire, but yeah, the Japanese jumped into, I say, help. The French and the English, what they were actually doing was that they used the excuse of helping us to invade the German colonies in China. And I'm trying to thingy. And yeah, that sort of that war kind of I'm not going to say it persisted, because they actually stopped invading them after the Germans surrendered, I believe. But they started that war again back in 1935. And it wasn't a pleasant war, shall we just put it that way. And I believe at this point I'm finally going to work out exactly where I'm supposed to be shooting with it, to damage it. So yeah, I believe I'm going to end my turn here. Or am I? No, I'm just going to start spamming. Yes, this basically, by the way, for the to the end of this mission, this is basically all that's going to happen, is I'm going to spam lances into the end of that, because that's all you need to do to win. So, let me see, what should I talk about? I don't know what to talk about. I mean, I'd like to talk about, Bloodborne, Miyazaki's new project, but I feel that's more suited for a Dark Souls video. But I guess I got some time to kill for this one, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna, on the game, I believe I'm about to try and finish that turret off. I'm going to finish that off just to make sure my tanks don't get destroyed. But yeah, back to what I was going to say, Bloodborne. I have a lot of questions with that game. Has it got me excited? Yes, I actually would say it has. I mean, purely the fact that Miyazaki is doing it. I mean, I do not believe that I am the only person playing Dark Souls 2 that feels that game suffered tremendously from his absence. And yeah, I'm really supplying everyone here. But yeah, say, not having Miyazaki in the thing, both myself and I feel that many others have believed, and remember what I said, that she should be a sniper. Yeah. But yeah, many people feel that just the fact that Miyazaki wasn't present in Dark Souls 2 made it suffer tremendously, both in design decisions, soul memory, but yeah, in general, we feel that Just the whole game as a general suffered tremendously. So I'm glad that there's a FromSoft game coming out, i.e. Bloodborne, that that Miyazaki got to do what he felt was necessary. And yeah, I didn't realise that would happen. Him actually making a game himself and directing it personally. I feel that it's gonna, I feel that at the very least there's good things that's gonna happen with that game. And she's well, I'm not gonna say that she's gonna own this guy, but yeah.
Damage minimal.
Miyazaki being on the project is a good thing. Although it still makes me wonder, it still makes me somewhat disappointed that he's... no, I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed that he's become president of FromSoft. Good for him, that's brilliant actually for him. I'm just wondering if, lack of Miyazaki... or I'm not going to say lack of, and that sniper's basically just killed him and his body. But yeah, you get my point. The fact that he's now president somewhat suggests that he's not going to actually make games himself. And I consider that slightly disappointing. As back to the Bloodborne itself, so I actually like the look of the project so far. I mean, yes, it's in like pre-alpha. I mean, there's absolutely nothing that we really know about it. Early impressions from what I've seen from the pre-alpha gameplay and that sort of thing. It certainly looks like it's going to play somewhat like a Dark Souls game mechanically. Style-wise, I doubt it, because let's say Miyazaki himself has openly said that he wants a faster, he wants the game to be faster and that sort of thing. So yeah, I think what he was saying, that he wanted to avoid that, passive-aggressive idea where, players would, they would block and then they would counter-attack, and that's all they would do. Bloodborne seems, from the interviews, seems very, how do I put it? It's like it's specifically designed for players not to do that. It's designed for players to actively attack, but still be smart about it, or at least if that's what his actual Miyazaki's vision comes true. Because I have noticed that some people have picked up that point about the game being faster, and they're worried that it's going to become a button smasher. Or a button masher, whatever you want to bloody call it. I personally don't think that that's going to happen. At the same time, I would also point out that even Dark Souls had its fair share of button mashing. You'd think. I mean, I'm sure at some point everyone's seen the a full Havel build mashing R1 and trying to go for the win for even in both PvE and PvP. I mean, I remember distinctly the amount of players going full Havels with a banana sword and Gold Tracer. For anyone who doesn't know, and basically just running up and mashing R1 and hoping for that bleed damage to win. And that happened. That was a genuine style of play people used. Personally, I love them. I used to love them players. I used to love people who would, who would just go with Sunlight Blade or Dark Moon Blade and mash R1. And the reason because one of my primary builds back in Dark Souls 1 was the Leo build. You know, obviously using the Leo ring and then using counters. Now, I personally used the Leo plus a halberd back then. I say back then, but yeah. Leo plus halberd did absolutely tremendous amounts of damage. I mean, I used to literally two-shot people with that build when they started spamming. You know, they'd come in with their banana sword or their Dark Moon Blade, usually a falchion, thanks to Ouroboros, but that's irrelevant. But yeah, a couple of pokes with a halberd and the Lyra ring, and they would be dead, basically. Okay, I'm going to take a very, very minor break here, because let's just say all that beer I've been drinking needs to come out. Okay, is this recording? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, back. Sorry, I just had to, nature calls, and I had to readjust my recording, my voiceover recording, because for some reason Audacity, when you stop it and you restart recording, it starts from the beginning, and then it starts playing what you've already done while you're recording for some randomly strange reason. So yeah, I was talking about Bloodborne. So yeah, I believe I already, I said that I was generally excited that Miyazaki was doing it and that sort of thing. From what you can tell so far, very, very minor, complaint / disappointment. And this is very minor. 30 FPS, really, what the fuck? I know that I'm perfectly aware that some people don't understand this gripe I have. Or, well, trust me, 30 frames per second compared to 60, it is horridly, 30 frames a second is not good. It never will be good. It will never. I'm not going to say that it won't be acceptable. It's 30 frames a second is basically scraping the bottom of the barrel for as far as frame rate is concerned. And I blame this pretty much squarely on Sony, because basically the problem is that both Sony and Microsoft, to this, I'm not going to say even a lesser degree because they're just as bad as each other, but basically they're too busy waving their cocks at each other and comparing who can do the prettiest games and the best graphics, that frame rate and how playable games actually are is getting chucked to the sideline. And you can tell this one. I mean, just look at how many games. By the way, I've completed the mission. Yeah, just look at how many games are aiming for that whole 1080p 30 frames a second thing. Yeah. Sorry. Frame rate is always better than resolution. Yeah. I would very much gladly play Bloodborne at 720p and still with 60 frames a second.
Let's find the engine and kill it.
I understand that there's some people that would rather the other way around, but trust me, 30 frames a second compared to 60, there's issues. And if you want to know what them issues are, just Google. The most obvious one that I know that some people seem to not notice is controller input lag at 30 frames a second. And yeah, I just don't, honestly, I don't understand how none of you who said this, I don't have a clue how you don't notice this. I mean, I notice it all the times on Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2.
Haven't enough men died? Why are you doing this?
Oh yeah, and we got dramatic scenes in the actual gameplay that
Do you not think that reason
you're supposed to be watching instead of listening to me rant.
We must. Rightful vengeance must be meted out.
By the way, random point, if no one's noticed by now, Maximilian has, what is the actual correct term? But no idea. He's got a split personality disorder thing where, for some strange reason, he has two people in his head, hence his use of the term we and us. But yeah,
on that day we swore,
as you can see,
we would take the Empire and the Emperor's throne for our own.
and you got some nice cuts here. I say nice cuts. Basically, it's just me missing out, loading screens and, you know, splicing the actual, the individual chapters together to make a, you know, a relatively consistent video.
Is fated to end ere long. The new age will be shaped by emperors, not men. Yes, he who wields the destructive power of the Valkyria grips the very reins of history. Peasants, let us
He's quite an elitist, isn't he?
We shall never stop. Not while we draw breath.
Oh, yeah. So, what's happening here, obviously, is in fast motion. Basically, there's, how do I put it? There's specific actual members of, well, I'm not going to say there's specific members. I'm leveling up and I'm rearranging my squad to get, I believe it's more characters with,
Here are your final orders.
what's the term? Desirable traits. Basically, I was swapping out a couple of squad members I don't need with a couple more assault members, because, yeah, assault members is what you need in this mission, and you'll see in a sec. Yeah, and, you know, it's just the at the minute, it's just the actual briefing, it's telling you what's going on. Basically, it's just saying that, you know, Maximilian, it says that he has Valkyria-like powers. Yeah. Trust me, this guy's a pussy compared to Savaria. I mean, she just beats you into the ground in a straight-up fight. You'll see how, you know, he goes in a minute. And I'm just trying to choose the, I say the best members of this choice. And yeah, at the minute I'm just trying to separate Rosie and Eddie for a minute, because I believe if you look somewhere on there, I believe Eddie has a so-called Rosie hater trait, which significantly well, she performs a lot worse than if, you know, you put her near Rosie for some annoying reason, but that's irrelevant. So yeah, that's deployment complete. This is actually going to be a rather short fight, or at least it's going to be a relatively short mission. Yeah, game. As I say, these last two missions are absolute, very, very easy compared to the previous few.
Squad 7, move out.
I need a drink. You need more Fosters, because I can't be arsed or can't be bothered to buy anything higher class.
Nice spot for a showdown.
Just a shame
Oh
you got no
god, yeah.
arms.
Some monologues here.
My shamrock's chomping at
Yeah,
the
he
bit
says
for a
that
piece of this
his
action.
tank isn't anywhere to be seen, if I remember rightly.
The Edelweiss is also all ready to go.
Or is it? I can't remember.
We're
And
ready for your
even
orders,
if it is,
Captain.
how the fuck did they suddenly manage to get it on the deck? of that thing. You know,
let's get started, Sevens.
you
Our
get my
target is
point
the
in
enemy
this.
commander, Maximilian himself.
We'll find out in a sec. Oh, and the Valkyria's falling apart. Yeah, how the hell did they get 2 tanks up there? I would love to know this. And there's a small reload there. Now, yeah. This actual bit that you're about to see, I believe if you actually equip your sniper with a slightly different rifle, which you'll see in a sec, you can actually one-shot these. Because while the rifle that, yeah, see 3 HP left. The actual rifle that Maria has at the minute, I believe, even though it's ridiculously accurate, shall we say it suffers from damage a little bit. And now that I think about it, I never actually tried shooting it with Catherine, using Catherine first. I should have tried that actually. Oh, she has it's definitely an English accent. I'm not sure what sort of accent it actually is. And then we use Largo to deal with the last couple. Basically, what you need to do is you need to shoot these strange spire things before you can actually injure Maximilian himself. When you can injure him, you'll just see how ridiculously easy he is to actually damage. And I've got to find another 20 minutes. Well, I'm not going to say I'm going to need to find 20 minutes worth of dialogue because, well, you'll see in a minute. But yeah, double tank damage. I guess it's nice that he got it, but it's utterly useless in this situation. So yeah, now we've destroyed all them. A bit of loading and such. And this is just more of a convenience thing you're about to see now. I'm gonna basically spam orders to make this easier than it is already.
All of you, focus on defense.
And this is basically just to minimise the amount of damage that they're going to take in a sec. Let me see, I think it's all units attack, isn't it, that I'm going to use? Yep. Okay, yeah. So yeah, sorry about the small cut there, that's irrelevant. But yeah, you're about to basically get an idea of how you're supposed to tackle this mission. And this is why, by the way, I use the all units defend thing. So yeah, we're gonna shoot him a couple of times in the chest. Because there's no headshot multiplier or anything. And he's gonna, But yeah, the all units defend thing, it's basically used so you can get up close to him like that, and then so your character can actually survive the counter attack.
Alright everybody, keep your sights trained on those energy
And
towers.
he has the useful thing that he can recover all his HP. Let me see, who am I going to use next? It's going to be Rosie or Jane, I'm not sure. It's Jane. Oh yeah, that's because...
Get ready to die, Imps.
Now, am I going to attack with it? Yes, I am. Because look, now the whole... Basically, this boss fight basically comes down to using combo attacks between characters. As you've seen, both of them together actually cause quite a bit of damage. What am I doing? Oh, have I not used all units attack yet? I thought I'd already used that order.
This is an order.
Then again, I might have waited until now because when he drops below a certain HP, you'll see in a sec, but yeah, it makes sense because now I'm going to use Rosie to, because see, I'm going to get a combo attack from all three of them now with basically maximum damage, and look at his HP drop. Yeah, we basically just owned him there. So yeah.
Filthy vermin. Very well. We shall see how you fare once the power output is raised to its limit.
You might not want to do that, mate. And he runs off over there. So yeah, that's basically why you don't want to do too much damage to him with the first couple of guys. And I believe it's also chucked up the those annoying. Nope, it hasn't done that yet. So yeah, I'm just gonna shoot him with a sniper rifle apparently, just for the fun of it. For what little HP it does, but it's irrelevant. So yeah, we're going to end turn heal. And he's going to walk very slowly towards us, and he's got a bit of his HP back. You know, this is one of the things I loved about Valkyria Chronicles 2. Was they actually sped up the enemy side's turns. And this I wasn't expecting. So yeah, every unit on my team, I believe, took a bit of damage then. Yeah, they did. Not that it really matters at this point. I mean, I'm not going to say that we've won, but yeah, we've basically won. And it's our turn again. And now we've got that annoying thing there. We've got his annoying towers helping him again. And we're going to basically do exactly what we did last time. Okay, so I am going to use Catherine for as an opening attack. No, she still can't do it in one shot though. Damn. Doesn't really matter, but you know, it would have been nice. And I'm going to use Maria again after this. I think I switched to Maria just to, you know, minimise the amount of damage each of them took. So yeah, it's relatively simple at this point. And as far as Largo's turn is concerned, exactly what happened before. Gonna just shoot them and kill them and that sort of thing. And I have a packet of I have some Doritos here that I'm gonna resist actually eating for now. And another core. Yeah, really, I'm actually really sorry about the amount of, you know, the amount of reloads I did in this. But I'm hoping that they, you know, knit it together enough that it doesn't really hurt it in the most part. And yeah, so I'm going to use it. Apparently I'm going to use aim boost just to make sure that I don't miss this next shot, because I believe that's why I reloaded actually, is in case he missed, which I believe he did.
Just watch this.
And he's going to get shot a couple of times, but it's, yeah. Oh yes. But yeah, he missed on the first attempt. So I reloaded and that sort of thing.
All right.
And now I believe I'm gonna absolutely own Maximilian now. I used all units, saying bloody hell. I thought I'd used the one for just a single unit. It's away. That was a waste of points there. Not that it matters, but yeah, obviously all units defend. And basically what I'm about to do is exactly what I did before.
This is an order. All of you, focus on defense.
Is I'm about to go and own him with a combo attack. And she's gonna get even more defense than she normally does. And now she's gonna use her overpowered weapon. Huh, that was a big. So why did? That's weird. Why did all of his attacks did like so little damage, and then you have one that just takes a huge chunk out?
Get ready to die,
Over.
imps.
This might. Yep, this is it. So yeah, this is basically the end of the game, or at least the playable part of the game. Now, after this, you've basically got some cutscenes to look forward to, and the credits. Now, I will just say this, right? The credits have it has some information about what happens to the characters after the game, but for the most part, there's an epilogue at the end of the, after the credits. So either watch the credits through or just skip to the epilogue. It doesn't really matter at this point. So yeah, I'm gonna leave you to your last cutscene and your credits and your very last cutscene. So yeah, enjoy! That's the end of this playthrough. So yeah, end of the playthrough. I will see you whenever for the next playthrough. So, see ya! Goodbye! And hope you enjoyed this playthrough. Please like. Actually, I don't feel like saying that. You know what you're supposed to do in a at the end of a YouTube video. So yeah, see ya. See ya. See ya. See ya. See ya. See ya. See ya.
Join us. Let Gallia fall to ash.
What? How? Why has it stopped? My guess is it's because I killed the power supply. Valdio, you made it! I snuck out in time to hitch a ride on this monster. I'm sorry it took me so long to stop the engine. Unhand us! Ah! What are you doing? Let's go! Sorry, buddy. but I can't do that. No! What are you doing, Faldio? This is insane!
Faldio, stop!
Welcome, Alicia. No matter my reasons, I was wrong to have betrayed you. Now, it's time that I paid for what I have done.
Let go! Let us go now!
Look at the two of us, thinking power could save us. Now it's our cue to leave the stage. Farewell, Welkin, Alicia. Best of luck.
Damn it! The boss and the little misses are still in there!
Hey, boss! Alicia! You two okay? Logan, you're all right?
Yeah, except for that. Our way is blocked off.
The entire deck's gone up! We can't cross! All of you, go on and get out of here!
Not a chance, boss! You get over here! We're leaving together or not at all!
We're gonna look around and find a way to connect to your side!
There's no time for that! Stay here any longer, you put the whole squad at risk! Listen! I'm not saying this again! You're going to leave now! That's an order!
Damn it all! Simmons, we're leaving! Get off of the Bermuda!
The deck's a lost cause. Alicia, let's find a way up.
Right. Lead on. I'm not afraid when I'm with you. Ever. Now let's go.
Thanks. Right. Let's move! It's no use. There's no way we're getting out of this. Alicia.
Welkin! Look!
Hang in there! I'm coming for you! Leon!
Welkin, that's Isara's plane!
Yeah. We're not gonna have time. We've gotta jump.
No problem.
Woo! That was a close one, bro. Leon, it must have taken forever to finish building this. Where did you find the time?
After we lost Isara, Casey and myself, well, everyone in the squad really came by to pitch in a hand. It was Isara's dream, you know? So, it wasn't hard finding help.
I don't suppose it was. Isara. You'll always live inside us. The dreams you left that day, now they're all of ours.
Rest in peace.
So tell me, bro, how far are we going today? This baby could take us clear across the sea if we want.
Back home. Back to a free country. Our friends are waiting. Take us to Rangrease.
The 25th day of October, 1935. The death of Maximilian, commander of the Empire's invasion of Gallia, paved the way for truce between the two nations. After 7 tumultuous months at war, Gallians everywhere looked forward to a time of hard-won peace. Squad 7 of the Gallian militia disbanded shortly after the conflict's conclusion. And its members began to move on, each following his or her own path. And here, at the end of their long struggle, I lay my pen to rest.
gotta take us bug hunting again soon, okay?
You bet. You know, I think you're ready for my top secret hunting spot.
Yippee!
Thank you! We'll see you tomorrow!
Yep. Go right along home now.
Welkin Gunther. After the war, he returned to his studies. Many had thought the Gallian hero would rise to further fame, but Welkin had something else in mind. He returned to Brule, there to realize his long-held dream of becoming a teacher. On weekends, he's often seen taking his students out on nature hikes. His is a peaceful civilian life, and he would have it no other way.
Thank you for choosing Alicia's.
Hey, honey. How's business today?
Hey! Hey, you. What a surprise. Guess what? So I started selling the smoked cheese bread today, and everybody loves it.
Of course. Told you that bread was great. Guess everyone in town agrees with me.
Yeah.
Alicia Gunther. Trading in her rifle for a rolling pin, Alicia trained around the clock to pursue her dream. After many long months, she received her national certification as baker. On the same day, she married her sweetheart, Welkin Gunther. Together, the two opened Alicia's Bakery. It didn't take long for word to spread about her delicious creations. And now, even visitors from far away make a point of stopping to sample her fresh-baked bread.
How about you? How are your classes today?
You know, those kids never seem to run out of questions. You know, they're amazing. Their curiosity's endless.
That's so. Then you're a kid too. You're as incurably curious as any one of them.
Speaking of kids, how's Isara been today?
Mike? Papa!
Hey there! Have you been a good girl?
Yep, I was real good. I was just helping Mama make some bread. I needed the dough all by myself.
Oh, I wish you could have tasted the bread that dough made. Our customer said it was the best ever.
Hey! Isara, that's really great! All right, you show me how and I'll help, okay?
Yay! Come on, Papa, I'll teach you.